Hello everyone, welcome back to another Blitz Wizard 94 recap. Ooh, that's my introduction magic right there. And today we're gonna be recapping how I won my last norm for the American version of the Candidate Master title. Now, normally when people talk about the Candidate Master title, you would usually be referring to the FIDE version. What do I mean by the FIDE version? Well, let's say you're a player and you only know FIDE, which is the world's governing body for chess, and they have lots of tournaments. You have a FIDE ELO, and once you get that FIDE ELO up to let's say 2200, you get the candidate master title. Let's not say up to 2200. When you get your FIDE ELO to 2200, you become a candidate master, and that's how it's seen to the rest of the world. However, in the United States, we have our own version of the Candidate Master title, and many other national federations also have their own weird version of the Candidate Master title, or some, we don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, the United States Chess Federation has their own version of the Candidate Master title, which can be achieved by attaining 5 norms and having a rating of 2000 or having had a rating of 2000. Now for me, I've achieved my final norm at this tournament. This was a tournament held at the University of Miami by a friend of mine. His name is Diego Mia. He is the owner of the South Miami Chess Club, and he constructed this tournament with the help of some of the students, and it was a pretty interesting tournament. The conditions weren't great as we were struggling with heat, but it was a really fun idea. That was the first time I played chess at a university. Well, not first time, but at a different university, let's say, and it was really interesting to be playing here um, at UM. But it was fun. It was 4 rounds. Originally, I thought it was gonna be five, but it's 4 rounds with 25 minutes and 5 second delay. And in the U.S., if you play a tournament that has 25 minutes or 30 minutes, it can be counted for classical, as in the U.S. I guess the U.S. Chess Federation was like, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That seems like not enough time for a classical game. Let's just make it also count for classical. So that's why I guess they did it. I'm unsure. And yeah, we just played 4 games and we left. Me and my friend Adele, we decided to play this tournament to see if we could farm some elo. And coincidentally, last tournament we did make a draw. It went like this. We go e4. Oh sorry, not e4. Sorry, I went knight f3. He went knight f6, and then we did knight d4, knight e5, knight b3, knight b6, knight here, knight there, knight there, knight there, knight here. Oh no, knight here, knight here, knight here, 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 here. And I remember a player was protesting when we did this, um, so much that I played d4, Adele played e6, and I played knight f3. After knight f6, I played knight g1, and we repeated back and forth. And that was interesting. It was quite a stupid draw. In this tournament, we went for the Berlin. We played e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6. We went castles, knight takes e4, d4, knight b6, and I played d takes, knight takes, h4, important move, forcing knight d4. Now we got knight takes, 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 and d5. Takes, queen takes, and we get this perpetual with queen d4 and queen e6 on the board up until move 15, up to which point it is a draw. And I had the black pieces while doing this draw. It was really interesting. This was round 2 of the tournament, and we just agreed to draw because we're friends. And it's just, yeah, it's just that, just 2 friends having a draw. We had kind of a laugh when the player protested. The TDs were like, "Ah, man, it's a small event. Just let them draw. Just let them draw." But not at this tournament, at a different tournament. And yeah, it was just a really small event. This event was super small, but it was way more small. There was only 6 players, so we're like, why not? But let's I'm a professional. That netball thing, we never did it again. But it was super funny, doing a netball draw and over the board tournament. First time I ever do that in my life. I don't think people care. This is USCF, so it's whatever. Whatever happens, happens. Especially in Florida, because in in the Florida community, people do not take these draws super seriously, unless it's some type of event that involves a ton of money. And even then, it's kind of hard to say where people do a draw, um, like before the round, or they actually invent something and then they actually agree to a draw in 10 minutes. Like, we don't know. But in whatever case, yep, I drew Adele in the second round of this tournament. The first round I do not remember as I lost all my notation, but vividly I remember that it was a Sleeman gambit with knight c6, we get bishop b5, and my opponent, who's around 1900, plays the move f5. This is called the Sleeman gambit, or the Sleeman defense, formerly known as the Janish gambit, and if you take, you're instantly worse, because black hits you with e4 and then e5, and you're constantly under pressure. By theory, it's pretty much recommended to play d3, after which black takes, knight f6, and you get bishop takes, g takes, and castles. This is all theory. This will happen in the game. We get g takes, castles, bishop c5, I play knight takes, he just castles, and then knight b3. Um, Pretty much all theory. I remember playing this game against an FM, and I was getting crushed as I did the wrong order. Apparently, you're supposed to, after f takes, you're supposed to do this. In the game against an FM in a blitz game, because we were hanging out, I played bishop takes. So that after g takes, I would play this. But this is even more worse, because black is now up a tempo, and you get d6, and black fundamentally has a more comfortable game in terms of attacking chances. So, I do not remember the whole game. If we were to continue, it's my third round game against a 2000. Well, he was formerly 2000. His name is, his name is Ubaldo. He played b5, knight f3, knight c6, and another Rui Lopez, this time with aces. And I go for bishop takes, d takes. And here I was thinking about what I wanted to do. Originally, I wasn't even considering taking, but I thought, let's just do it simple. Let's just go for simplicity in this tournament. So after d takes, I go for the move of d4. After e takes, queen takes. This is a line which I got inspired from an FM who I hang out with playing blitz games all the time. I refer to him as Pena. That's not his real name, but yeah, really cool guy. After bishop c5, we got knight e2, bishop e6, knight c3, castles, f3, knight e7, bishop g5, f6, bishop h5, knight here, bishop f2, and then bishop takes, king takes. And I won this position in endgame, just winning practically. These two pawns eventually got off the board, and I eventually caused some liabilities within the pawn structure, and just managed to win the game, pretty simply. Um, that was round 3, at least from memory. And now this is the game we're going to be recapping. This is a game against an 1800 named Giordani, who I've known. He's beaten me before, and it was a little bit upsetting. He beat me in one game, which cost me my, I guess, a chance of the winnings. But here we go. We get e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Also, it's worth knowing that before this round, I was initially half a point behind him. He had 3 points, I had 2.5. Also, my friend had 2.5. Well, no, he had 1.5 because Giordani actually beat him, which is unfortunate. And so it's, I guess, my turn to take revenge. Knight c6, we get bishop b5. And now, Giordani plays the Berlin. And the Berlin, again, is really, really boring. But I play bishop takes, d takes. And again, I do not know theory. I decided to go knight c3, and I have no idea what I'm even doing in this position. But again, I just try using my intuition and come up with the best move. So we get knight c3, we get bishop g4, I play h3, and this reminds me a little bit of the Carl Khan, where you get e4, c6, knight c3, d5, knight f3, takes, and then you get this move of bishop to g4, and after h3 you get takes. This looks interesting to me, and it's really unique. A really unique position, as if we go back to the position that we were referring to, right here and here, I played d3, he goes queen d6, which is a move I've seen Nakamura play, but not in this exact order. We get h3 takes. It looks kind of similar with the pawns on d3 and e4, Eventually, this bishop's supposed to go to d2, and I can castle. In the game, Giordani played queenside castle, and I go for bishop d5, putting this pin on the rook. And instead of just going for a normal move like bishop e7, saying that if I take and just castle, black is preferably the one for choice, according to the engine, because you get b5, h5, and the rooks are just going to be more active. This queen is a little bit, it's not out of place, but it sooner or later is going to find itself with some problems. And the king has to waste some time with king b1, and eventually an attack might happen on the queen side or the king side, and this is what kind of worries me. But in the game, he never even went bishop b7. He decided to go for the move h6, provoking me to take. And if queen takes, this is just a dream, because g takes and just castles. White is just better in this position. Like, there's nothing you can do. White is just simply better. In fact, I don't even have to castle queenside. I could also castle just kingside for g8. Simply just go for normal moves. Rook a d1. I can get the knight over to f5. I can play f4. I'm just living the dream. But he did not go queen takes. He went g takes, which starts the demise of his position. It just all crumbles. We get castles, bishop e7, knight e2, and my plan is simply to bring the knight over to f5. We get queen e6, targeting my a2 pawn, so king b1 defending. We get rook g8, and now g4, stopping any h5 ideas that I can just take, and my knight will promptly go g3 and then f5. We get queen d6, knight g3, queen b4, knight f5, bishop f8, just, yeah, it's just a terrible piece. It's defending the weaknesses it has, and like I said, the structure is simply a liability for black, and it's what starts, this is what starts the death of black's pieces. Like, everything's gonna crumble. Queen e2, just rerouting, queen b5, f3, simply waiting, just waiting move, just simply being patient, because black is eventually gonna run out of moves. He goes with h5, his plan being to go h4, then h3. It's worth knowing that after f3, had he gotten bishop h5, bishop h3, this would just lose to a c4. After I see a move like queen b4, I can just go king a1, he just loses his bishop. If he goes queen b6, try and guard. Then again, just knight takes h6, everything's crumbling. Let's say rook h8, just knight takes f7 wins the rook. Let's say rook c8, just move the knight back. These two pawns are simply going to win the game, if you want to talk about practically. If you want to talk about the engine just recommends queen c2, just go queen b3, king a1, rook b1, just wow, just yeah, like there's no words to explain this. Like, everything just wins. Like, there's no way you can lose with white. You just have everything. You have everything, and you don't even have to do anything to win. That's how bad black's position is. So f3. Sorry guys, I'm sorry, but yeah, this is a massacre. Holy hell. It is a massacre for black. I'm sorry, Giordani. I really am. We get f3, h5, only plan for black. At least that's what he thought. I play king e1, prophylactic move. So now that when he plays a4, I play a3, locking the structure. No more bishop takes a3 ideas. If he just takes, I mean, this is just a free piece. King b2, queen g5. I could even give up the pawn. Let's say not like that. Let's say c4, queen takes, and then queen b2. At the end of the day, I'm up a knight. It doesn't matter. So he doesn't go for bishop takes. He just has to go for king b8, a waiting move, and now comes this interesting move of rook h2. The whole idea being to swing the rook over to e2, and eventually prepare a natural c3 and d4 break. Because again, the pieces are miscoordinated, and the back rank is super weak along with the structure. So I'm just gonna time it to the perfect moment. And he gives me everything I want. Again, literally, that's the whole point of this game. He tries rook h8, going for this idea of h5. I play h4, so that when he plays h5, I can just wait. Like, I don't have to do anything. I can just simply wait here and do nothing. I can just go knight g3, and after takes, like, these two passages can win the game. Or if anything, I don't even have to do that. I can just go for my plan of c3, go queen c2, rook d1, and if he just takes, I got these two passers, and I'm pretty much the one with advantage, who can just push on for as long as I want. But in the game, he never goes h5, surprisingly. He goes queen f4, queen c5, which I don't understand. I guess the whole point is just to try and infiltrate, but in the game, I was also seeing that he has b5, so that is pretty much his only idea to make space for the pawn and just try to attack and get b4 in, which unfortunately doesn't work. We get h5, again locking the structure. He has no moves. b5 is played, and now c3, and now if b4 is played, I can just take free pawn. Now rook f1 is coming in, and these pawns again are super weak. So what does he do? He tries queen b6, leaving room for c5, or to implant the bishop on c5 and then try to go for an attack. I go queen c2, we get bishop c5, and this is the perfect moment where it just all goes downhill from here. Like everything just goes downhill. d4. Call in Simon Williams from chess.com. Yep. If you guys are a fan of Simon Williams, when he was doing the Brilliancy series on chess.com, and he was like, look at Alireza Firouzja's top 5 brilliant move. Look at this explosion. This is basically what d4 is. Like everything is just, yeah. Everything is going to be shattered. Windows are going to be broken. Faces are going to be smashed in. Like, what do you do at this point? What do you do? It's just this bad. Like, what the hell do you do? You get d4. Point being that after he took, I went rook h2. Again, the whole plan of surrendering the rook from h2 a few moves ago to swing over d2 and imply pressure. Just put pressure on the center because the back rank pieces are overloaded. This queen, this garbage. This bishop doesn't do anything. These pawns are weak. Everything is going to fall eventually. And worst of all, his king is not even that safe. It's going to fall soon. We get d3. He decides to go the pawn this way. I take. After king b7, just waiting. Just queen e7. What does he move? He tries queen a5. So let's say I do like a random move like knight g3. He would have this bishop takes a3 move. And now if I take, we get queen takes. And now the engine even states that black is the one fighting for advantage here because he has all these pawns. Even the engine regards it as being equal, which is insane. But all these pawns give black compensation. So instead of going into any of this mumbo jumbo, you know what I do? Again, patience. Don't rush it. I simply go for the calm natural move. Well, not calm natural move, but like calm move. Rook d3. This defends my c3 pawn. So now if bishop takes a3, I can just take it. There is no queen takes c3 because if I just take on c3, well, if he takes on c3, I just take with the rook. I'm up a queen. So, again, not much he can do. He tries to go for queen a6, which is looking forward to playing b4 and trying to do some garbage tricks which don't really work. But, again, there really isn't much he can do, so I guess it's worth a try. Not really, but yeah. Again, guys, just no words to describe this game. It was just clean. That's the best way I can describe it. Just clean. Like nothing. I didn't do anything in this game. He goes queen a6. I go king a2. Again, just defending my pawn, waiting. b4 comes in. Free pawn. C takes b4. Queen f5 check, and I go king b1. And this is essentially game over because everything's gonna fall. And his bishop's attacked. Like there's no squares for it at all. And he goes bishop b6, which unfortunately is a blunder. And you guys can see that the engine bar is at basically plus 19. What is the move that wins this position? If you guessed it, congratulations. It is knight d6 check. As it forks the king and the queen. Once the king moves, you just take the queen. You're up a queen. It's essentially game over. He pretty much resigned here once I played 96. He was like, oh shit, I blundered my queen. Pretty funny ending. And after which I have this picture, which I can show you guys right here because I actually got permission from my friend Adele. And unfortunately Adele, he kind of lost. He lost to Jordanis at first, and then he lost to Ubaldo, which is unfortunate. And he, as a result, he lost like 23 points. But here we are. This is us at the University of Miami. As you can see, I'm holding this weird cup. Let me see if I can get right here. This is the cup which I won at tournament. Diego's pretty much gives this cup as like the trophy. This is pretty much the trophy. But you can drink out of it. As you can see in the picture, I drank a weird little um yeah, just a really weird I drink Coke. Yeah, I remember drinking like a Coca-Cola. I had like two Coca-Colas. And my second one I was drinking it all the way up until the last game, and I just poured it into my cup. So that is that. Or maybe it was three Coca-Colas. I can't remember. But overall, I won this really nice cup, which states the name of the tournament. If my camera was show right there, that says the University of Miami. Give me a second, guys. Come on, camera. Does it say right there? You guys can kind of see it right there. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, you can drink out of this cup. The whole reasoning behind him giving these cups as the trophy. And besides, he only gives one trophy, and it's to the winner. And the reason he does this is simply due to the fact that most people in the open session, they don't really cherish trophies. They will usually just put it in their closet, sell it, or just throw it away. So in any case, he wanted to give something that was valuable in a sentimental way. Because with a cup, at least you can use it, at least you can drink it and pretend you won the Super Bowl. So, yay, I won the Super Bowl, yay! But non-jokingly, it was just it was a fun tournament. I had a good time, despite the heat strokes and despite, I guess the Coca-Colas. I remember Ubaldo was jokingly telling me that, hey, why are you drinking Coca-Cola, bro? Come on, you're 18 years old. Just drink like a whiskey. Just drink a whiskey. So I'm like, yo, Diego, you're right. He's right, bro. Come on, you have some whiskeys in the car. But yeah, just had a good time, and it was due to this tournament that I won my last candidate master norm, in the U.S. Wait, why am I saying in the U.S.? I'm sorry, but yeah, I won my last norm for the candidate master title in the U.S. Chess Federation, and as you guys know, the U.S. Chess Federation has their own version of the candidate master title, or for people that are from foreign countries just watching this video, the United States has their own version of the candidate master title, and to attain it, you must have 5 performance norms, meaning you must play at a rating level of around 2050 or 2000, and I managed to do that. I got my 5 norms, and I also got my rating to 2000 a long while ago. As long as you had a rating of 2000, you're able to qualify for this title as long as you perform at the rating level of 2000. It doesn't matter if you lost the 2000 elo. If you're 1900 and play like a 2000, you're gonna get it because you did have 2000 previously. And my rating now is currently 2090. I've been having a blast, and I'm now 110 points away from becoming a national master. I feel pretty good. Just winning tournaments left and right. I have had no sleep for the past few weeks. Just been grinding really much. And yeah, life continues. Last month was super brutal, but here we are, and I really hope I get to national master. That will be my goal, and I'll probably recap it. If anything, I am playing a group this weekend at the Bobby Fischer Chess Club, so stay tuned for that. I might recap it. Um, and yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Uh, yeah. Also, stay tuned for April, because in April, me and my team are going to the high school nationals in Maryland, Baltimore. I'll be vlogging that and recapping it as well. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and take care, guys. I really wish I had a catchphrase for this, but I usually don't. So yeah, ciao, guys. Till next time. Ciao.